togetherness. Huh? No, never mind. Forget I said it.
If you haven't seen the global phenomenon yet, you're missing out on this.
Yo, one thing about us chosen people, we are the masters at forgetting about people. Like completely forgetting about you. Like if you do us dirty, right? We will completely block you out of our thoughts. Like, for example, an ex-girlfriend, or let's say you're a girl or your ex-boyfriend. You will take all the good memories after they do you dirty. You will take all the good memories and you will completely not revisit them. I'm not talking about, oh, you did me dirty. I still remember, but I try, I don't want to think of. No, like we will completely not revisit that part of our heads. Like we will completely forget you. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have friends that are mad at their exes from years ago. That they'd be like, I don't talk to that bitch. Man, I see any one of my exes, I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know why? Because I don't give a fuck about you anymore to be mad at you. And that goes with everybody, not just exes. If you do us dirty, we will take the thoughts. Because once you do us dirty, you're a snake to us. So any good memories that we've ever had with you, we won't even revisit it because it feels fake. We'd be like, I don't even want to revisit that good moment because I was with a snake. That person secretly didn't even want to be there. That person, because that's how we look at it once you do us dirty. We'd be like, yo, that's it. We don't have to revisit that part. So that's how it is with anybody else too. Once you do us dirty, we will completely block that part of our brains. And I don't mean like, I try not to think about that moment. No, I'm going to tell you what happened to me one time. This girl came up to me, an ex-girlfriend of mine, and she goes, do you ever think about that moment that we did this, that, and the third? And I'm like, oh, and then I remembered. Like, I literally forgot, and had she not brought it up, I wasn't going to remember. Then I remember, and I was like, oh, yeah, that was some good times. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's good seeing you. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't give a fuck. And holding anger to somebody, like a ex-best friend or an ex-intimate partner, that's too much energy for us. Hell no. That's why we'd be like, yo, what's up? People be like, yo, why you so cheery with your ex after what she did? I'm like, because I don't give a fuck about that bitch anymore. Like, to me, she's just like the mailman. Hey, how are you? They say hi to me or they DM me, how you been? I'm like, great, how you been? I'm not holding on to anger because I completely forgot about you. You're nothing to me. And we, us chosen ones, we mastered that shit. We mastered the art of not giving a fuck about you anymore and completely forgetting everything that ever happened between us.
This wasn't my idea.
My way.
Yo, one thing about us chosen people, we are the masters at forgetting about people. Like completely forgetting about you. Like if you do us dirty, right? We will completely block you out of our thoughts. Like, for example, an ex-girlfriend, or let's say you're a girl or your ex-boyfriend. You will take all the good memories after they do you dirty. You will take all the good memories and you will completely not revisit them. I'm not talking about, oh, you did me dirty. I still remember, but I try, I don't want to think of. No, like we will completely not revisit that part of our heads. Like we will completely forget you. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have friends that are mad at their exes from years ago. That they'd be like, I don't talk to that bitch. Man, I see any one of my exes, I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know why? Because I don't give a fuck about you anymore to be mad at you. And that goes with everybody, not just exes. If you do us dirty, we will take the thoughts. Because once you do us dirty, you're a snake to us. So any good memories that we've ever had with you, we won't even revisit it because it feels fake. We'd be like, I don't even want to revisit that good moment because I was with a snake. That person secretly didn't even want to be there. That person, because that's how we look at it once you do us dirty. We'd be like, yo, that's it. We don't have to revisit that part. So that's how it is with anybody else too. Once you do us dirty, we will completely block that part of our brains. And I don't mean like, try not to think about that moment. No, I'm going to tell you what happened to me one time. This girl came up to me, an ex-girlfriend of mine, and she goes, do you ever think about that moment that we did this, that, and the third? And I'm like, oh, and then I remembered. Like, I literally forgot, and had she not brought it up, I wasn't going to remember. Then I remember, and I was like, oh, yeah, that was some good times. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's good seeing you. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't give a fuck. And holding anger to somebody, like a ex-best friend or an ex-intimate partner, that's too much energy for us. Hell no. That's why we be like, yo, what's up? People be like, yo, why you so cheery with your ex after what she did? I'm like, because I don't give a fuck about that bitch anymore. Like, to me, she's just like the mailman. Hey, how are you? They say hi to me or they DM me, how you been? I'm like, great, how you been? I'm not holding on to anger because I completely forgot about you. You're nothing to me. And we, us chosen ones, we mastered that shit. We mastered the art of not giving a fuck about you anymore and completely forgetting everything that ever happened between us.
Let's go! Max B. See, it's a lot of speculation, right? I'm G'd up. Between me and the boy hand. I'm G'd up.
Come on.
Gangrene. No, we in the studio chillin'. Nigga, I'm G'd up.
Can't forget.
I'm G'd up. Let's go. Shit. You might have seen me leaning in the beamer, floating up the top rope like Tommy Dreamer, feeling type comfortable, hitting these chicks with big dicks, what we love to do. You not in my league when it come to this money, well it's from the shimmy or the running up in your tummy. I'm G'd up, tie me a nigga up, mommy eat up, come on, and now I'm trying to fuck. I'm a professional pimp, don't stress a whole bitch, get you for your whole shit. I'ma get this nigga whole clips, I was in the Benz big, I seen Pootie Boom, I was in your crib, kid. I know you that bitch. I'm better off, yeah. Cherry Carrera Porsche, level cloth. It's very soft. Tie you up, those short, your bullet wound for the cheddar, of course. Ow. I'm ready to ride, I'm always on the grind. I'm cocking my 9 whenever it's time to crime. I'm G'd up. So you know I'm G'd up. Getting a lot of dough. Yeah. I'm gangrene, we holding, steady rolling. Packages heavy and all swollen. Nigga, I'm G'd up. Time to up, mommy eat up. And now I'm trying to fuck. Don't get it confused, we could get it on, but I'm always playing it cool, and niggas know I'm a rider. Cause before all this singing and rapping, I was cooking them pies up. I get it poppin', I don't play no games, I'm G'd up. I don't say no names, I'm G'd up. I slang that cane, I rep that thing, and plus I bang bang. I was living in the 740 Fiji. Niggas like Max, how you do it so easy. Max, how you do it so freely. T-touch, might as well join us. You niggas can't beat us. 50 of the shower in my sneaker. White, don't know if you notice. I don't think he likes me. Tell him when he see me come and fight me. He don't wanna do that. Ship him off the Mikey. He don't wanna move that. If you hustling in the streets, you all in your heat, trying to stay low from the D. Stay G'd up. Stay G'd up. Throw it up if You riding that 5 and you busting your guns, trying to keep your niggas alive. Stay cheater. Stay cheater. Yeah, I'm getting green, we holding, steady rolling. Packages heavy and all swollen. Nigga, I'm G'd up. Sign me a nigga up, mommy eat up. And now I'm trying to fuck. I'm ready to ride, I'm always on the grind. I'm cocking my 9 whenever it's time to crime. I'm MTV. So all a nigga know I'm G'd up. Getting a lot of dough. Yeah. I'm getting green, we holding, steady rolling. Packages heavy and all swollen. Nigga, I'm G'd up. Sign me a nigga up, mommy eat up. And now I'm trying to fuck. I'm ready to ride, I'm always on the grind. I'm cocking my 9 whenever it's time to crime. I'm G'd up. So all a nigga know I'm G'd up. Getting a lot of dough.
Biggest bees. B2B Entertainment. Gang Green. Harlem Matriarch. We stick together, baby. It's Harlem. We back. Okay. 2G.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Wow! You are now live, Live, with your host, the most froze, the bad boy of indie comics, the hottest ticket in all of indie comics today, the one that got away. Yeah, the unstoppable, unbreakable, undiscovered creative juggernaut, the IP generating machine. Yeah, the people's champion. CEO of Glacier Mountain Comics, it's your boy, Glacier. Yeah, welcome to the show. Down in front, the show is about to begin. Yeah. Wow. Collective, I see you, but hang back and hang tight. I got some cleaning to do. Yeah, welcome to the show. How's everybody out there doing tonight? Out there on the tubes of you, yeah. If you're new to the channel, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified each and every time we go Live, yeah. I'm serious. Leave a like, leave a comment. You can do that for the free. It's for the free, yeah. Also, if you're inclined and of the mind and feeling kind, my PayPal is in the banner scrolling across the screen below. Right there. Yeah. My banner and Twitter handle are both in the banner scrolling across the screen below. So feel free. It's not too late to donate. Send all donations via paypal.me/glacier 8888. PayPal.me/glacier 8888. Yeah. Tonight's live stream is brought to you by V5 Boutique Marijuana Vapes with the live liquid rosin diamonds. Yeah. V5 Boutique Marijuana Vapes now triple strained up and equipped with low and high voltage options. Yeah. Take the most savory of hits, heat it up to perfection. Yeah. V5 Boutique Marijuana Vapes with the live liquid rosin diamonds now equipped with infinity mode. But please proceed with caution. You hit that blinker 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can hit all 3 strains simultaneously. Yeah. V5 Boutique Marijuana Vapes, the best vapes in the game. Yeah. Tonight's live stream is brought to you by 3 lovely indica strains. We got grape soda on deck. Yeah. And we're coming with that glowberry, and of course my pick of the week, the flavorful, ever so good cherry cheese, my cherry pie. Yeah, I was smoking on that cherry pie indica strain. Holy fuck. V5 Boutique Marijuana Vapes, as I almost faint, best vapes in the game. Yeah. We are now live with the bad boy of indie comics. You're getting smoky with Glacier on Sunday. Sunday night, getting smoky with the most pros. Yeah, the bad boy of indie comics. The hottest ticket in all of indie comics today. The one that got away from the most vicious hate group ever formed on the internet. Yeah, and I am going to turn Comicsgate into a parking lot. Yeah, mark my fucking word. Yeah. It's not a game. It's not a game. To me. Give me aura farming. Farming that aura. Yeah, on tonight's docket. I'm probably going to have to edit the songs out I was playing in the beginning. The My Chemical Romance songs. I got the stream suspended momentarily. But nonetheless, today's live stream is Gerard Way. Gerard Way of Chemical Romance. You might know him from Doom Patrol. Gerard Way Appreciation. Yeah. Gerard Way Appreciation stream, as well as Dan Didio. We got some John De La Rose, John of Rice, JDA interviewing the legendary, great Dan Didio. Yeah. Got that up on the docket as well. And I may even drop a call-in link. Let me finish my stogie, and we'll get this show on the road. Yeah, gather your refreshments, your snacks, go down the hall. The show will begin momentarily. Yeah, live with Glacier is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Yeah. It's the most pros, baby. Most pros. Yeah. Bad boy of indie comics tapping all the way in. Yeah. I know I'm not supposed to stoop to their level, collective, but I'm not really stooping. I'm not stooping. Just hang back and hang tight. I got some house cleaning to do. Yeah. No matter what you tried to delay, what you tried to stop from happening with your fucking gay ops, Von Klaus, Tom Tuttle, Ethan Van, fat ass, you ain't delayed nothing. Yeah. 60 pages in the can, despite all of you, out of pocket. Yeah. No crowdfunding, no e-begging, no opportunities like you CG gremlins. Off my back, out of my pocket, 60 pages, issue 1 in the can, despite all the gay ops they tried to pull with my artist. Yeah, still I persevere, still I rise. The prophesied influencer, born during a solar storm in 1988, that is coming to affect mass change, mass awakening worldwide on a global scale. Yeah. Off the back of the Glacier during this new era, this new age, spearheaded by the Glacier. The Ice Age, yeah. The funny books will have a second wind. A renaissance is upon you. Comic books will rise again. And we will remind the world that the West is superior. The West is supreme. That is the mission. And you can help us today. The world hungers. The world hungers. The world awaits. With arms wide open for the debut IP Sledheads, crazed and deranged mind of the bad boy of indie comics. They don't want a comic from you. They don't want a comic from you. They want a comic from me, this guy. Yeah. Anybody elevated and promoted that isn't the Glacier is settling, period. Yeah. Karma on they head for everything they tried. Gave it the old college try and you failed. I will prevail. It's in my DNA. Yeah. You see the magic in front of your face, under your nose, in front of your eyes. It is I, most froze. I really do what I say what I do, yeah. You all fucking know it. It's only a matter of time now, collective. Worldwide. Glacier winter is upon you. You gremlins better bundle up. It's gonna get cold, yeah. With that being said, welcome to the show. Let the festivities begin. Where are we gonna go first? Gerard Way appreciation. Yeah. Shouts out to Gerard Way and My Chemical Romance. Yeah. Elite level creator and talent. Musical storytelling. Genius. Yeah. You hear me? There's a reason why Gerard Way is Gerard Way. There's a reason he got into the pop culture zeitgeist and is a legend. And no matter the hate, no matter the projections and the jealousy, Gerard Way got to where Gerard Way got because he's got the goods. Do you got the goods? Or are you a bootlicking brown noser? Yeah. These are the questions that require looking inward and retrieving the answers from the depths of your soul, if you even still have one. Yeah. Don't hate. Create. Don't hate. Appreciate. Don't hate. Elevate. Yeah. Does this count as comedic or does this count as vitriol? I think it's comedic. Let me get us started. Let me get us to where we're going. Digital GPS traveling through the numerical boom tubes as we proceed to give you what you need. Where are we going first? All right. I think we're going here. Comic Talk. Hashtag Comic Talk with Gerard Way. Yeah. All right, let me load it up. Loading. You know, it's hard to get internet in the Glacier Mountains. See what I did there?
It's a lot harder.
All right. Get it all queued up and good to go. Let the festivities begin. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Gerard Way, I want you to know that the jealous and worst of your haters I have come across that accuse you of thievery over here in the indies, the bad boy of indie comics, he ain't buying that. He sees through the hate and the jealousy, Gerard. I want you to personally know, Gerard Way, that the bad boy of indie comics has got your back. Yeah. All right. Comic Talk with Gerard Way. I think this is from 2016. Let us partake of the member berries. Hail and welcome to the Ice Age. Yeah.
It's a lot harder. It's a lot more work, I think, to make comics. It's a lot. And a lot of these people that make them, they do it because they love it. And a lot of these guys, guys and girls died broke and penniless, and they made some of our...
Yeah, do it because you love it. Not to try to pay your rent.
favorite books. So they weren't celebrated like rock stars, you know? So in some ways it's harder. And if you want to start a band, you could just go start a band. If you want to be in a big band, well, that's a different story. I guess the same goes for comics. If you want to make like the next Watchmen or the next Doom Patrol or the next Invisibles, like, you know, you shoot pretty high and you go for it and you see what you can pull off, you know? But certain books only, you know, like they're kind of like these moments in time, like the Beatles, like they come around.
Moments in time come around once in a lifetime. A mind like mine only comes around once in a lifetime. Help us today. I'm telling you, the world awaits it. The world hungers for all facets of Americana, American entertainment, our greatest export to the world. The world is waiting for it. There will be before the glacier and after the glacier. These are facts. And you can help us today by donating via paypal.me/glacier8888. 60 pages, issue 1 in the can, out of pocket. And we're looking to begin production on issue 2. Telling you, they don't want a comic from you. They want a comic from me. The new energy. The second wind, baby. The Renaissance. The Ice Age. A new era. A new age. We're fixing everything. Everything Americana that you could think of. We will insert ourselves into the pop culture zeitgeist and remind the world that the West is superior. The West is supreme. Look, I enjoy hella manga, hella anime. It's great shit. But you guys had a nice little run. But now it's time to bring things back in-house. Let this new energy, new mind, the ones that put in the goddamn time, the ones that know, the ones that possess the it factor, the charisma, the mainstream appeal, and the storytelling genius. The IP generating machine, the bad boy of indie comics is here in front of you now. And you could help us today by donating via paypal.me/glacier8888. paypal.me/glacier8888. Help us do our part. Thank you.
Once in a lifetime, and there's never anything like them again. It's just like, so that part is just like music. In a band, there aren't, so that part, because they love it, and a lot of these guys, guys and girls died broke and penniless, and they made some of our favorite books. So they weren't celebrated like rock stars, you know? So in some ways it's harder. And if you want to start a band, you could just go start a band. If you want to be in a big band, well, that's a different story. I guess the same goes for comics. If you want to make like the next Watchmen or the next Doom Patrol or the next Invisibles, like, you know, you shoot pretty high and you go for it and you see what you can pull off, you know? But certain books only, you know, like they're kind of like these moments in time, like the Beatles, like they come around once in a lifetime and there's never anything like them again. It's just like, so that part is just like music. In a band, there aren't really, I guess there's technically predetermined roles, but those lines can blur. I don't feel like they blur so much in comics. I think, you know, even though it is very collaborative, though. Like, for example, I could send Gabrielle a script and he can say, "Hey, you know, I'm going to change these panels around a little. I want to tell the scene like that." He's still like drawing the book, and I'm writing the book. And then sometimes, you know, Dave will have this idea of doing off-register colors. So it is a collaboration, but I'd say the roles are super defined. Whereas in bands, it may appear on the...
Wait, I want to hear this analogy again.
Like them again. It's just like, so that part's just like music. In a band, there aren't really, I guess there's technically predetermined roles, but those lines can blur. I don't feel like they blur so much in comics. I think, you know, even though it is very collaborative, though. Like, for example, I could send Gabrielle a script and he can say, "Hey, you know, I'm going to change these panels around a little. I want to tell the scene like that." He's still like drawing the book, and I'm writing the book. And then sometimes, you know, Dave will have this idea of doing off-register colors. So it is a collaboration, but I'd say the roles are super defined. Whereas in bands, it may appear on from the distance that roles are super defined, but behind the scenes, they're not as defined as you think. I think they blur a lot more. And I think because of that, there's a lot more problems in bands than you would find. You rarely hear about comic book teams breaking up. But I do think sometimes...
Shit. Thank God you stayed out of the Indies. That's all we hear about in these parts. Yeah. That's why you gotta get away from the shit pond. You gotta get out of the shitty waters.
About comic book teams breaking up. But I do think sometimes that like amazing, phenomenal art can kind of save a book, and you know, stuff that's not so phenomenal can kind of hurt a book. The writing is obviously very important, but I think these days writers get a lot more credit than artists, and I think artists are just as vital. Like without Gabrielle Ba, there's no Umbrella Academy. Like it wouldn't look.
You need an artist whose mind thinks cinematically when doing panel layouts. Just because you could draw good doesn't mean you're good at layouts, at angles and perspective. A lot of people forget that yes, you're moving from one page to the other, but I don't know if it makes sense to you in this manner, but you have to think what's happening in between those pages too. If you're not good with the storytelling and transitioning, it could be very jarring. Take people out of the story. But you need both. You need both to drop something timeless, to drop something that in its future could be considered a classic. Catching lightning in a bottle requires both writing and artists. Bad art can be saved by good writing. So there's a little bit of the scales leaning that way a little bit, right? Bad art can be saved by fantastic storytelling and writing. Bad writing cannot be saved by good art. These are facts. That's just the way it is. Bad writing cannot be saved by incredible art. Sure, it might be appreciated. It might be studied and pulled right up to your fucking face, nose deep in that shit. But if the story's bad, you just got a picture book. Anyways, back to Gerard Way Appreciation here on the Glacier Mountain Comics YouTube studios, where you too can do your part to help us get into the algorithm. And it's for the free. You can do it for free. You can leave a like and leave a comment. Go do it. Do it right now.
Or feel the way it is. Killjoys was more art-based. Killjoys was kind of more like, what do I want this stuff to look like? And it was also tied into a record, so that was a little trickier. But that was fun because I went to a costume shop with Sean Simon, who was my co-creator and writer, and we just said, like, all right, everything in this comic shop we're gonna make. If we can't find it in this shop, it won't be in the comic. So we found all this weird stuff and like put it together. But Umbrella Academy, you know, I was just inspired by, like, I'm trying to think artistically. I just was looking for what I thought was missing in comics and what I wanted to see in comics. And I just let my imagination kind of run.
All right. Comic Talk with Gerard Way. Now, he did just mention right before the video ended, right, that him and his partner, Sean Simon, they went to comic book stores with the mission of whatever they couldn't find in comic shops, that's what they were going to make. So they set out and looked after all this weird shit, and they pieced it all together. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I think the next video is perfect because, like I said, him and his partner, they went to comic shops and they looked for what was missing before they began working on their project, right? So what better video than actually going comic book shopping with My Chemical Romance's Gerard Way. Yeah. Hail Gerard Way. All right. Let me queue up this next video. And while I'm doing that, take a second to check out the banner that's scrolling across the screen below. My Twitter handle is in there. If you follow me on Twitter, you get a behind the curtains sneak peek, behind the scenes look at all WIPs, works in progress, of all the comic books we have in production before they ever get to print. So if that's your thing, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Handle is in the banner below. You never know what you're gonna get, what stage the work in progress will be. You might get some pencils, you might get some layouts, you might get some inks, you might get some full colored pages. You see character designs, concept designs. So if that's your thing and you're interested in seeing what Glacier Mountain Comics has to offer, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. And my handle is in the banner below. Yeah. Or X. Follow me on X. I don't think anybody in IRL actually calls it X, though. I think that shit's going to be Twitter forever. Also, random while I'm queuing up this video, but also hail the Razor, the Razor Fist, and one of my favorite streamers online. I think he's bound to blow up eventually. Fatal J, hail the Fatal J, yeah. Go check out both those cats on YouTube's on the tubes of you. Razor Fist. He plays awesome gaming streams sometimes. And follow Fatal J, him and the Black Council. They be going ham. Yeah.
Finally found this. It's Nameless. This is by Grant Morrison, Chris Burnham. And I talked about it before, but I found the issue, so now I'm very excited. So I'm going to be reading this on the airplane.
Ooh, Nameless.
Cobra, super raw.
Wait, you saw what I saw back there in the last. Look at It's one of my favorites right there. Like, who thought Hellboy could get better, you know? And it did. Like, when he started collabing and stuff, the BPRD built that shit out nicely. I love some BPRD.
Going to be reading us on the airplane. Copra, super raw and awesome.
Copra, what is that? That looks fire. I'm gonna pick that up. Copra round 1.
Will be reading us on the airplane. Copra, super raw and awesome, and I love it. This is a great book people should check out. Neil's got a new book called Trigger Warning, but I don't see it. It might be in like a new section because it's a hardcover, but I'm a big fan of all Neil's writing. This is here. Neil's Sleeper in the Spindle, which is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. This is my favorite book. It's Dune by Frank Herbert, and I've read it a bunch of times, you know. I'm falling into a Dune hole right now. Attack on Concrete by Taiyo Matsumoto he's one of my favorite artists. His art kind of reminds me of a mix of Katsuhiro Otomo and also the cover of Revolver by the Beatles. This is probably the biggest influence on me, next to like Grant's work and Watchmen, is Akira. And I was pretty obsessed with this as a kid. And they came out in color in the States, and they just colored right over the black and white art, and it was kind of strange, but really cool though. I've always wanted to be able to draw like Katsuhiro Otomo, which would probably be like the hardest thing in the world. Favorite illustrator is probably James Jean. He did the cover to The Black Parade, and he also did.
Oh shit.
Probably James Jean. He did the cover to The Black Parade, and he also did the covers to Umbrella Academy. So he's probably my favorite illustrator. I love this stuff. This stuff's so strange looking. Like I had this stuff when I was a kid. I love Robin. I'm so obsessed with Robin's costume because it is so incredibly dangerous. Like, he has no body armor, and he's wearing the brightest colors, and it makes no sense. I feel like Batman put him in it and said, you go be the target and people shoot at you and I'll go do my job, you know? I kind of felt like that's what I gathered from it. I collect these, actually. Not a lot of them. I just have the bounty hunters, but I have all the bounty hunters.
Hell yeah. See, a man after my own heart. Bounty Hunters is the best part of Star Wars ever. Let's see, who's my favorite? I mean, it's gotta be Bosk, the lizard. But like more modern Star Wars, Cad Bane, probably Cad Bane, yeah.
These oversized ones, because I think they're just super awesome. They're so strange looking when they're that size. Well, I like classic Doctor Who because like it kind of shuts your brain off a little bit because it's very like it's just a different thing. Like especially like the Tom Baker.
Yeah, you just put Doctor Who on the like. Is Doctor Who like? Would that be considered the first thing that was brain rot? Really? You know what I'm saying? Put some Doctor Who on in the background because it's Doctor Who.
Episodes, obviously, they're all, and it's all like super lo-fi. So I love like classic Doctor Who. I think it's so strange, and something like Umbrella Academy is cool because I get to hand Gabrielle like these designs that I'll do, and then he also will like then change them and make them better. But in terms of like the Hesitant Alien project, I'd done these drawings of like this guy in a blue suit with orange hair, and I was like, that's it, that's the look. So art plays a big role in what I do. Yeah.
Shit. I don't know what just happened. Alright, let me see. Where are we going next? Cue it up. Cue it up as I hit my V5 Boutique Marijuana Vapes with the live liquid rosin diamonds taking an infinity mode hit right now. All three strains simultaneously on high voltage. Yeah. God damn. Told you, infinity mode. It's not for the weak heart. It'll kick your ass all up and down the street. Yeah. All right. Let's see where we go next. On this Gerard way
It's a
appreciation.
lot harder. It's a lot more work, I think, to make comics. It's a lot, and a lot of these people that make them, they do it because they love it, and a lot of these guys,
Fuck's sakes.
guys and girls, died broke and penniless.
StreamYard and YouTube, they do not work well together ever. StreamYards and YouTube is like fucking peanut butter and ketchup fucking sandwich. They're definitely not a dynamic duo. You know what I'm saying? All right. Oh, okay. I didn't know I had this. Shit. Yeah. Them boys. Yo, them boys. Before unfortunate things happened, they were pretty much the comic book YouTube channel. I don't care what nobody says. Those are facts. So I didn't know I had this. Gerard Way on Cartoonist Kayfabe. Fuck yeah. We're going there. Any second now, I'll be able to hit the pause button. Any second now. There we go. In business. Okay. StreamYard internet for the win. Look, my camera is acting like Pie Man's camera. I am Glacier Robot. Watch me glitch like Omer. Omer glitch in the building. My microphone. Does that work better? Wait, I haven't been on StreamYards in a while. Maybe, let me check my camera settings. I don't have any filters on, do I? Camera. Huh. Oh, visual effects. Oh, the camera's already fucking up. So what if I hit enhance skin appearance? Does it beautify me? I'm smiling and it's taking like 10 seconds to show I'm smiling. That was hard holding it. Does my skin look beautified? Do I look better than the Pie Man at least? No, I definitely look better than Dark Grift and Finatra. And my hairline hasn't started going as far back as Ruby King's yet, you see? It's still kind of hanging in there. I'm like a shrunken head of Dracula and Jesus combined. You know what I'm saying? All right, like this. Like this. Does it look like I've been getting my fill? Does it look like I've been hoarding chicken tenders? That's all that matters. The new leader of Comicsgate. You know, once my shit goes worldwide, it's lightning in a bottle.
on a global scale, worldwide, and I take over Comicsgate just before I turn it into a parking lot. But I say that to say, if I am to be the new leader of Comicsgate, does he have to be just as fat as Ethan to make as big of a crater? I mean, impact. Will I also need 400-pound reinforced steel computer chairs? I don't know. Do I look like I haven't eaten chicken tenders? Or do I look like exalted and chosen, walking in the lights, a young lion in its prime? Oh, yeah. All right. I think this looks good enough. I'm on like everything I do, I don't see it till like 10 seconds later. This is crazy. Wait, I wonder if it's like Discord. I do the on-off thing. Is that better? Nope. It took like 10 seconds for me to stroke my beard. What the fuck? Sorry, folks. I don't know why the internet's being crazy right now. It's StreamYards. They're like, fuck these leeches that are fucking using the free trial. We gotta slow their shit down like the old iPhones. Look at my Wonder Bread jacket. Why isn't the green screen covering my Wonder Bread jacket? Shake and bake, baby. If you're not first, you're last. Yeah. All right. So Gerard Way and cartoonist kayfabe. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Yeah. What a freeze screen. You know what I'm saying? This is what Marduk Knight.
And I was reading a ton of Faust at the time, and like The Crow.
Hold on.
Just like super violent stuff.
Oh, hold on. Start over again. Look at that freeze frame. Yeah, hail the Gerard Way. Genius. Musical, artistic, storytelling genius. Yeah. But do you think this is the face that haunts the dreams of Vasily over there in Greece? I mean, Marduk Knight, he has a solidified paper trail of hatred and vitriol. I mean, what the fuck did Odie ever do to Vasily except also be from Greece? Fuck is wrong with you, Vasily? You know what it is? It's all that platinum hair dye. The more you color your hair, the more that shit gets in there. You know what I'm saying? The fuck did Odie do to Vasily? You know? If it's not Odie's face, it's definitely this. This is the Gerard face. Like, just if I had Photoshop skills, I just crop this out. The Gerard Way floating head that fucking flies in and out of Vasilis's dreams, and the whole time he thinks it's a fucking the fucking German churchers. What are those called? The whole time he thought it was the ghost of all the churches he used to burn down. Rockstar things, right? He's burning down churches. Marduk Knight burning down churches. He's literally been on stream saying, thinks those are the ghosts and the spirits that are haunting his apartment, his apartment. But it's not. It's the nightmares he's having are not those church burned down church spirits. I think this is the face that haunts Vasily's dreams, and rightly so. He probably deserved it. Who else has problems with Gerard Way? Like who would ever have problems with Gerard Way? You know what I'm saying? I've never heard of anybody else in the world having problems with Gerard Way. Have you? What did poor little Odie do to Vasily? Solidified paper trail of hatred. Vasily, don't hate, create. And figure out the physical copy shit. Stop whining and complaining. Nobody wants the digitals of your books. Your dark horse style art, your horror style art. People want to fucking hold it and inspect it. Figure it out. Yeah.
And I was reading a ton of Faust at the time, and like The Crow, and just like super violent stuff.
My name's Ed Piskor.
I'm Jim Rugg.
And today we're doing things a little bit different, Jimmy, because I wanted to talk to somebody who wasn't alive when Nixon was president. Gerard Way. Not only is he a rock star, but he's the writer of Doom Patrol, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. Fabulous Killjoys.
On Raven's Wings, which we're going to have to talk about a lot, man. The spearhead of the Young Animal imprint, Gerard. Thanks for taking the time with
Gerard Way of the Fabulous Killjoys.
us, brother.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Gerard, can I tell this story real quick, man?
Sure, go ahead.
It's one of my personal introductions to you and the MC Army in particular, man. And it has to do with I'd say it was the year 2014. Free Comic Book Day is upon us, man. And Tom Scioli and I, we traveled up to Toronto, Canada, to go sign at the Beguiling. I had a Free Comic Book Day. Tom had a Free Comic Book Day, and takes 5-6 hours for us to get up there. We're running around while we're up there, not looking at our phones at all until it was like time to relax, chill out at the hotel room. We got a big day ahead of us tomorrow, a lot of comic book signing and all that. Log into my Twitter, and I got like 12,000 new followers, or like 2,000 new followers in a day, and all of these replies, man, from people just like, "Yes, Gerard, I will." And it's it's a lot of girls with the hair coming over the one eye and shit like that, man. And you put a tweet out, man. It said like, if you guys pick up any Free Comic Book Day comics, like these are the two to pick up. And it was Tom's and it was mine. And so that whole day, crazy traffic on the Twitter. Then the next day comes, and then,
by the way, like, since like the vacuum that was created, because Cartoonist Kayfabe was becoming the comic book YouTube channel. Like I said, undeniable. These are facts. No matter what happened, those were facts. And like he just shouted out Tom Scioli. He's kind of taken over for me since the Cartoonist Kayfabe power vacuum happened. And holy shit, boy, Tom Scioli's fucking New God Sunday School, that fucking like 62 video playlist covers the entire Jack Kirby New Gods run, everything he did under the New Gods. Umbrella, it's known today as the Fourth World. New God Sunday School. Tom Scioli breaks it down like no other person I've ever seen review comics on the tubes of you. Tom Scioli is goated. So shout out to Tom Scioli as well. I think his channel is the Total Recall Show. I believe that's his channel. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. I'm just retweeting out the stream on X. Good to go.
And my Twitter broke again because all those same Gerard Way fans were just taking selfies like, I got it, Gerard, and just like holding up. And my Twitter broke again because all those same Gerard Way fans were just taking selfies like, I got it, Gerard, and just like holding up the pictures of the comic. Your introduction and your sort of relationship with comics goes back a long ways, man. You worked at a comic shop, so I'm assuming you grew up a comics fan. You're born in '77, so is Jimmy, man. So I'm curious about the early days of like what hooked you.
Sure, yeah. The very, the earliest thing I remember, comics wise, I was with my parents and me and my brother Mikey, and we were at somebody's house. I can't remember whose house it was, but they were a comic collector, and he let us like just take a bunch of Archie comics. So it was cool. It was really kind of my first exposure to comics. I was very young, and so I really enjoyed those. But then there was a
Yeah, see, I have a similar story. My first experience with comics was one of our childhood friends, me and my brother. Our childhood friend's older brother was like a badass penciler, man. Like, he could draw his fucking ass off. I'm surprised he never even like, he's in a completely different field of work now, successful and everything. But one of the most badass fucking artists I've ever seen. But he was interested in my wrestling magazines. I was fucking buying wrestling magazines back then. They had like fucking mini posters, pull-out posters, trading cards, and it was like all the fucking federations in one magazine. So I had a couple of those, and he let me trade it, and I actually reviewed it on my channel during a live stream. I don't know what it is. It's like a King. Yeah, it was like issue 2 of like King's Annual, I think. But anyways, it was New Warriors. The New Warriors. That was my first ever jump into comic books, and then like right after that, like all the comic books I got from him for trading those 2 magazines, like boom, the next day we go to go get groceries. Parents took us to get groceries, and the first time they ever put it up in the grocery store, like we caught it on the first day it was out. Fucking, they had spinner racks with floppies on them, and I got like a fucking Usagi Jimbo fucking Ninja Turtle Halloween fucking comic book. Yeah, it happened just like that. I think it was like fucking, I was late, but I just took off from there. I'm trying to remember the other comics I got from trading on that magazine. I know one of them is like an image book. It's like a Starman or something, Starman. It's like some like ninja comic book. And then there was it was like a Supergirl, some kind of Supergirl issue. Wow, I'm going all the way back to like fucking 1995, 1996.
What kind of really got me into them was when I had my tonsils taken out in the 3rd grade, and so you gotta go to the hospital, and like they tell you they're gonna give you ice cream and stuff to get you excited about it, but like you wake up and you're in like this incredible weird pain, and you don't want ice cream, and you just really want to pee, and it is what it is. But my grandmother had got me one of those like 3-packs that come in the plastic. The only comic I fully remember being in that 3-pack was a Captain America comic. And so that kind of started, and she got me a Super Pickle too. So he was a superhero. So then, I really got into X-Men because we had a corner store, and my mom would let us walk to the corner store, and we would usually get like wax packs of like cards and stickers from movies and stuff like that. And then, but they had this, you know, this wall of comics. And I remember I picked up an X-Men Classics and a current issue of X-Men. I don't remember the very first issue, but it was Claremont and Silvestri. Right around then, too, was when Inferno happened. And I was really into that. Like, I was reading a lot of the Inferno comics. I was reading Exterminators, which I loved. I was reading X Factor, X-Men, Daredevil, and I just loved the whole thing. I loved Inferno. And it was right around then, or a little earlier, I started to draw my own comics and make these little kind of comics myself about this character named Icicle, who he was basically like a ripoff of Iceman, you know.
I was going to say Human Torch, but that was just going to be a guess.
Yeah, that Silvestri X-Men era, that's exactly when I start buying X-Men too. So we've talked to other cartoonists, and that age thing is there's such a parallel, you know, like we all have that common experience of a certain age whenever we all sort of enter that. So I am excited to hear this progression because I feel like it's going to sound very familiar to me.
Like we're a part of what I call like the last vestige of the newsstand comic buyer.
Yeah, that corner store.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. So we'd go like once a week, and I'd see whatever they had, but I was like always waiting for that X-Men issue. That was like the big one. And I loved so much about it. Like, I loved the fact that they didn't show up in photographs. They basically didn't exist, so they wouldn't get any of the credit for saving the world. And they were mutants, so they were all outcasts, and I just loved the whole thing about it. And I guess I felt like a little bit of an outcast too, so I really related to that. And I'm sure a lot of other kids my age at the time were really relating to that element. Because the chances were, if you were reading X-Men at that age, you probably weren't a popular kid in school. So
I would take that bet. That Inferno was also, that was the era of the Ann Nocenti, John Romita Jr. Daredevils. They were firing on all cylinders, man.
That's another strong run in my collection.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what age I am. So I'm reading that stuff, but then this is how. Here's where a shift happened. So then I'm in middle school, and I try out for marching band because I just thought it was something you're supposed to do, because I was in school orchestra and I played the drums. I played snare, you know. So I tried out, and as a middle schooler, I actually got into the high school program. I had a miserable time. I hated it. I quit right away. I only lasted. I went to band camp, and it was so miserable. And I just they would like wake you up at like 5 a.m. to just like play.
Sorry, I gotta make this joke. Low hanging fruit, you know what I'm saying? This one time at band camp, I had a roommate named Tranthony. This one time at band camp, nobody remembers when. See, that's another good little segue. Like, there's not really good fucking comedy movies nowadays. Like, we were spoiled back then. Like, think about it. American Pie, some dude gets fucking busted by his parents for fucking humping a fucking apple pie. Like, bro, we need good comedies back. See what I'm saying? Like, help us fucking get this debut out to the world. It's fucking gonna be fucking snowball boulder avalanche of fucking money like they've never seen. I'm talking IP generating machine. You know, the way to relate to you what I am bringing to the table. There's this old interview with fucking Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. I think it's when they're showing the Kill Bill scripts to each other or whatever. And Rodriguez goes to Tarantino. He's like, he compares Tarantino and them to like the Three Stooges, you know, being out in the desert on fucking camels, dying of thirst with no water. And there's Tarantino with fucking full jugs of water riding by them, you know, and they're all fucking desperate for water. And he was saying this because he was giving Quentin his flowers, basically praising Tarantino's ability to fucking generate IPs, fucking a madman, fucking putting in that fucking work. It's like, while we're all struggling to come up with our hit ideas, fucking Quentin will come up with 10 fucking crumbled papers everywhere, gets rid of ideas left and right, and these guys are just like, give us some of your water. We'll take some of those that you're throwing out. That's what's here. The new creative generators, creative batteries, the IP generating machines right in front of your fucking face. And soon it'll all make sense. Worldwide. We're coming to put everything back in a renaissance. Believe in the mission. And do your part by donating via paypal.me/Glacier 8888. Yeah. Hail and welcome to the Ice Age.
The snare drum and do snare rolls for like an hour, and I didn't see the point. And then we were walking together. They're trying to teach us how to march together to make shapes and shit like that. And then like the guy was just like yelling at everybody and like demeaning everyone, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what's the point of this? I'm not doing this. So I went home and I quit. But before I quit, another thing about Bandcamp too, I was really into bands like the Misfits. Like the Misfits were really huge to me, and basically my musical tastes got like zero respect in marching band. They were all about like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that, and the Doors and all that stuff. And I was listening to the Misfits, and so they would bag on my musical tastes all the time. And anyway, so, but before I quit, I met this kid named Russell who played trombone.
Yeah.
And I was telling him about the comics I read, and I was like, yeah, I really like X-Men. He's like, you need to read Watchmen. He was like, that's the real deal. And I was like, oh, all right. I'd never heard of it. I had no idea that it existed. So I went to a bookstore at the mall with my parents, and they had it, and they bought it for me. And that like changed everything. That, like, for a lot of people, same thing, you know? And I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever. So it was not long after that, I also then discovered Dark Knight Returns, and I went down that path. But also a cool thing that happened at the time, my elementary school friend Anthony had a sister, Sharon, who was a drummer, and she actually helped me get into SVA. She took all the photos from my portfolio. And she would show us stuff like Love and Rockets and Hate and comics like that, and neat stuff and stuff like that. So I was exposed to underground comics as well. So I had a little interest in that. But I read Watchmen, that kind of changed everything. And then I read Dark Knight Returns, and then I think I read Daredevil Born Again. And so it was around this time that I discovered Watchmen. So my the summer of my middle school, 8th grade going into 9th grade into high school, that summer I would walk pretty far to this comic shop, really small, in Bloomfield Center. And it was called Metropolis Comics. But it wasn't like Metropolis, like Superman Metropolis. It was like the old movie. And they had like this, and they had this sign, and it was like the same lettering as the Fritz Lang movie.
Wow.
Which I had never heard of at the time, and I would discover. But I walked in, and there was a guy, another kid. He must have been like 17. I think he was a senior in high school. His name was Scott. And I was wearing my Watchmen shirt, and then we just started talking about Watchmen, and he went into like this big, deep discussion about Watchmen, and I was like, this is where I belong. These are the,
How deep were you, man? Because I seem to remember reading somewhere that you're an RPG guy, man. So were you were you fucking with that Watchmen RPG book?
Yeah, I owned it. I actually, unfortunately, lost it. But that book, discovering that book was like the greatest thing, because there was all this extra information in that West End. It was Mayfair published it. And there was all this information in there, like stuff that I didn't even know about the comic. And I was like, this is like the greatest companion to Watchmen,
Did Alan Moore have something to do with that? Like, I've never rested my eyes on a copy of that.
I don't know, but I want to say I think so, because there's a lot of information that's not in the graphic novel that's in there that seems pretty legit.
Dig.
So yeah.
So Metropolis Comics, that's the same shop you're going to end up working in a few years later?
Yeah. It was, and then I met my best friend Sean there, and it was cool because you had a group of like teenagers. So you had like kids like us, we're about 15, 16, so on. And then there was these older guys who were into RPGs and comics. Like some of them were in their late 20s, 30s, and they would totally tolerate us, And like we'd have every day, I would walk there every day, and we would just have these like deep discussions about stuff, about comics. And every night there was a role-playing game. There was an RPG. And you basically would choose which game you wanted to play, and then you would just show up at night to play that game, And we were like, us 15-year-olds were like super immature, and I'm really surprised they tolerated us as much as they did, because, we were like, we're not the best players, But to backtrack on role-playing games, I had first played Dungeons and Dragons in the 3rd grade. And so I've been interested in them since the 3rd grade. But now I found a place where I could play every night, So my mom was cool. I had a curfew, but she would let me walk there every day, and then it would be nighttime, and then she would pick me up. And we played everything from like Palladium Supers, Call of Cthulhu, which I didn't understand at the time. I didn't know how to play that game. I was trying to play that game as if you were playing Dungeons and Dragons and just try to kill everything, but that's not how Call of Cthulhu works. You basically end up dead, so, but there.
How's that Breaking Dead Air with throat clearing? I think that's pretty good radio. I got the patter. I definitely got the patter. You know what I'm saying?
You could be vaping formaldehyde, which is used in...
Oh no. They're scaring the vapors with this mange. Mange scaring away the vapors.
in taxidermy.
Oh dear.
What?
Formaldehyde. Oh dear.
What? I knew it. Oh dear. Oh dear. What?
Aren't you an elk?
I don't know.
I like that. I like that as a buzzword. Formaldehyde. We should bring that back. Wasn't that in the? Was that a Panic at the Disco song, right? All right. Let me. I don't want to be streaming forever. You know what I'm saying? I gotta preserve my my 20 free hours. Preserve 'em I will. So let me queue up this one more video before we get out of here. We might have to do a part 2. We might have to appreciate Gerard Way and Dan Didio twice. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I did enough appreciating tonight. But I gotta run a tight ship. I got a whole world to change. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stay ready, stay dangerous. Let's see. think I got it, chat. Chat. I think I got it. All right. I think this should be good. Okay. Just bring this up here. So we got to give some love to Dan Didio. Dan Didio.
I just kind of rambled about
Comic
it for a
book
while.
legend.
And he just pauses and sighs. And he goes, dude, you just asked me where ideas come from.
Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry. Yellow Flash, here we go. Let's do this. Thank you for the $20. $20 for this thing. What a guy. Thank you. Hello, Mr.
Holy shit, look, it's fucking no way. Yellow Flash on the Dan Didio stream. This is quite the member berry. Let's appreciate the legend that is Dan Didio. Yeah.
Yellow Flash, here we go. Let's do this. Thank you for the $20 super. $20 for this thing. What a guy. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Didio. Please help me understand why you let Super Sons get ruined by aging up John Kent and then also letting Brian Bendis run Superman into the ground. Speaking of Bendis, Rebirth Superman was fantastic, and so was Super Sons. I loved Jurgen's work out there. He did such a good job.
Jurgens, is going to go down in history as one of the greatest Superman storytellers. Let's be honest, guys. I mean,
you can't beat that. That's all.
That's all there is to it. He runs the character so well, and it's funny. Can I'm going to digress for a second? I'll get right to the story.
Sure.
I just got to digress because your Bendis story. I had the same story with Dan Jurgens when I was younger.
Okay.
Right? When I was younger. I'm not young, but when Booster Gold came out, I hated Booster Gold. So I gave Dan Jurgens shit at a convention once about Booster Gold, about why is he stealing Legion rings, why is he doing all these things, dumb character. Dan's super nice to me but he sort of blew off my question. 20 years later, I'm working with Dan, and I go, listen, Dan, I don't know this, but I was this guy that gave you a hard time about Booster Gold. And he looked at me and goes, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you get so many questions like that, you probably have no idea, right?
That's where all this stuff goes on there. Let's go through this. Okay, Super Sons number one. Super Sons, possibly one of my favorite concepts at DC. I bought all those World's Finest issues that were all the Super Sons issues for such a long time. And I loved it so much that I was constantly trying to find a way to work Super Sons back into the DC universe. But people didn't want it at the time. So until I couldn't pull that trigger until Jim and I became publishers. Then I pulled the trigger on Super Sons. So I wanted
and those were like the best DC books of the last decade.
They're great. Pete Tomasi's amazing. They did, and he had such heart in that story, which was great. And it was against what I thought Damian's character was, but he played it so well that you just wanted that book to continue. But like everything, you're constantly forced in a situation where you're constantly trying to renew and get things going. And we honestly, when Bendis came on over to DC, and we were super excited about that. I wanted him to do more Batman, and he felt that was expected. So he wanted to try something different. He actually gave us a really strong pitch for Superman that we thought was going to come together. But unfortunately, Bendis got really sick.
Oh, really? Oh,
got sick for a while, and everything sort of cooled down. So things were sort of moving in half steps. So it never really got the proper launch pad. But when you have an incredible writer, and Bendis is an incredible writer, you got to give them that leeway, to give them that opportunity to succeed or fail. And some people liked it strong, some people worked against it, but you have to give them that choice. You have to let them be themselves. That's why you hire them. You know what I mean? So, and that's what it's all about. So, what I like to say is that I understand what you're saying. Aging up Jonathan Kent was supposed to be a different story, because we were going to go somewhere with that. We never went to where it was going to go, and that's why that didn't work. The high concept was that Superman was going to become a threat in the future, and Jonathan Kent was brought into the future by the Legion of Superheroes to train himself to stop his father from becoming what was going to happen.
That's a cool story.
You know what I mean? And that's why he disappears, because he's in the future with the Legion. So the Legion stories are with Jonathan Kent, Legion training Jonathan to stop something horrible that's going to happen in the past with his father, and he's the only one who can do it. that was going to be the story. They never got there.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Is that, and I guess that, I mean, this sounds like this happens a lot. I mean, you mentioned the Stephanie Brown origin story kind of didn't work on that.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like with reboots and restarts and having, and let's be honest with the comic collector market, like if it says #1 on it, somebody's going to go buy it. And if it says number 55 on it, they're not going to go buy it. And you do have that problem where you do have to have that constant cycling of relaunches. It sounds like that messes up a lot.
Yeah,
of
and that's just a real unfortunate shame of the business right now. I'm sorry to say, is that the fact that we have to go to such lengths to redrive or restart an engine, because ultimately you see diminishing returns with every #1 that comes out there, and the faster that those #1s appear, the lower the threshold is for the sales on that book, and that which ultimately forces the thing to happen. So anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, Yellow Flash. Next gauntlet question. Callum Lyle, thank you for the Australian $5, which I think only comes out to about like 15 cents in American money. But has Jim Lee always been weak-willed, complicit, unable to say no to people? Wow, that's shots fired, because he clearly does not care about the company he's supposed to lead.
All right, hold on. I think I have a timestamp. 44:28. Oh, I got it. Oh, wait. Did we just
so
watch
many
it?
books every month? Like, I mean, you've got this and this and this, and it's just like, I don't know how you can possibly do all that and keep it going. And I just kind of rambled about it for a while, and he just pauses and sighs, and he goes, "Dude, you just asked me where ideas come from."
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm sorry." Yellow Flash, here we go. Let's do this. Thank you for the $20 super, $20 for this thing. What a guy.
We just watched this. Oh, fuck. Where's I think he talks about Green Lantern. Oh, Yellow Flash comes back.
Couldn't pull that trigger until Jim and I became publishers. Then I pulled the trigger on Super Son. So I wanted
and
that.
those were like the best DC books of the last decade.
They're great. Pete Tomasi's amazing. They did, and he had such heart in that story, which was great. And it was against what I thought Damian's character was, but he played it so well that you just wanted that book to continue. But like everything, you're constantly forced in a situation where you're constantly trying to renew and get things going. And we honestly, when Bendis came on over to DC, and we were super excited about that. I wanted him to do more Batman, and he felt that was expected. So he wanted to try something different. He actually gave us a really strong pitch for Superman that we thought was going to come together. But unfortunately, Bendis got really sick.
Oh, really? Oh,
got sick for a while, and everything sort of cooled down. So things were sort of moving in half steps. So it never really got the proper launch pad. But when you have an incredible writer, and Bendis is an incredible writer, you got to give them that leeway, to give them that opportunity to succeed or fail. And some people liked it strong, some people worked against it, but you have to give them that choice. You have to let them be themselves. That's why you hire them. You know what I mean? So, and that's what it's all about. So, what I like to say is that I understand what you're saying. Aging Up Jonathan Kent was supposed to be a different story, because we were going to go somewhere with that. We never went to where it was going to go, and that's why that didn't work. The high concept was that Superman was going to become a threat in the future, and Jonathan Kent was brought into the future by the Legion of Superheroes to train himself to stop his father from becoming what was going to happen.
That's a cool story.
You know what I mean? And that's why he disappears, because he's in the future with the Legion. So the Legion stories are with Jonathan Kent, Legion training Jonathan to stop something horrible that's going to happen in the past with his father, and he's the only one who could do it. That was going to be the story. They never got there.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Is that, and I guess that, I mean, this sounds like this happens a lot. I mean, you mentioned the Stephanie Brown origin story kind of didn't work on that.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like with reboots and restarts and having, and let's be honest with the comic collector market, like if it says number 1 on it, somebody's going to go buy it, and if it says number 55 on it, they're not going to go buy it. And you do have that problem where you do have to have that constant cycling of relaunches. It sounds like that messes up a lot.
Yeah, and that's just a but I love that's one of my favorite. I love all the really crazy corners of the DC universe. So when I was writing there, I did naturally I did Outsiders, I did OMAC, I did Phantom Stranger, Challenge of the Unknown, Forever People, and then
Oh, Dan Didio did Forever People and OMAC. OMAC, that's one of my like little side quests. Fuck, dude, OMAC. Even some of the newer OMAC was pretty good too. OMAC's a good ass character.
Created Sideways, and then finished up on Metalman. Yeah, so I always tried to have a book going all times, but I didn't want to do it under the limelight. I just like to do
Sideways, Metalman. You know what I'm saying?
Put off in the corner just to keep that creative energy going, because again, the administrative job can be so overwhelming and pull you away from the creative. This was my one way to tether myself back into the creative aspect of the DCU.
That's really cool. Student of God for $2 says Frank should write for Ripaverse. Eric pays good. I think Frank just does whatever he wants.
Yeah, Frank works for Frank. That's let me trust Frank works for that. I mean, Frank is possibly one of the most fiercely independent people that I know. He truly believes about the strength of the independent creator. And while he likes to support other people, he drives his creative vision top to bottom, and it's kind of interesting to see. But it's you got to applaud him because it's worked well for him.
Would there be any possibility for me to get him on?
Oh God, it's fucking Carbon Fart. Can you believe Klippa ditched Trash Cast last night to go over there and putter around with Carbon Fart? Sheesh. He must have. I bet you Carbon Fart. Yeah, I figured it out. Pay for play. You think I don't know Carbon Fart? Pay for play. Yeah, I see how it is, Klippa.
My show. Would that be possible?
I
he can't help me. He can't help me with that, guys.
Yeah,
we tried.
Yeah, he's got a crew.
Carbon Heart, thank you for the $4.99. Dan, do you think there's a chance that our beloved characters like Batman, Superman will be saved from the SJWs who have taken over?
Everything. Look at the cycle of the characters. Look at the world. How many times? Where have we been over the years? And look how many times the characters have changed and moved on.
I just got this. I don't know were you involved in this at all with Silvestri?
Yeah, I was the guy. We put that together at the start. That's
oh my god! So this just came out, by the way, guys. It is if you want to talk about Batman, the Joker, Deadly Duo by Mark Silvestri. This is so good. Absolutely.
Just pure style and form, and it's great that he was
for Squibs $1.99. Any release date for the Sin City?
Right now, the issue.
Fuck. Does he talk? I thought he talked about Green Lantern somewhere.
On things like
Ancient Enemies #6 comes out tomorrow, my friend.
Here we go.
Yeah, EVS loves Dan.
Yeah.
Forever People with me. He worked on Outsiders with me. I've known Philip a long time. I've always been a huge fan of his work. Big supporter.
Love the Forever People.
Thank you guys for the super chat. EVS loves Dan says dumb old Vic for the $4.99. I'm unfamiliar with his work. Well, you can get familiar with his work. Ancient Enemies #6 comes out tomorrow, my friend.
I was going to say no. I thought he did.
There you go.
Green Lantern Rebirth. Is that what he's talking about? No,
I'm unfamiliar. Oh yeah, that was all Dan. Dan did Green Lantern Rebirth. That was all you.
See, I fucking knew it. Pie Man's been fucking breadcrumbing us and lying all along. Dan Didio did fucking Green Lantern. You heard it here, folks. First, with JDA, live on the Glacier Mountain Comics YouTube studios, where it's not too late to donate. You could still send donations my way via paypal.me/glacier8888. Yeah. Now back to the show. Yeah.
That was all Dan. Dan did Green Lantern Rebirth. That was all you.
Yeah,
I gotta give you some credit for stuff, right?
The hearty laugh.
If he's making grounds, maybe Mike S. Miller can give him an interview, maybe build. I don't know that Dan needs to build up
Yeah, Smiller and the Didio. Yeah.
A little, but Dan is you've been super just like going on every comic channel to promote this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm actually winding down.
Okay.
If it's the complete opposite. I'm actually it's been interesting, coming out of DC and then working with Frank. But it's, to be perfectly honest, I'm more about just doing things that interest me now, and more about just and that's why I appreciate you having me on, because I'm really here to talk. I'm excited that
JDA, put me in touch with Dan Didio. This message, let me use my telepathy. Hold on. Gotta make sure this works. Gotta make sure this sticks. John of Rice. John De La Rose. Fellow Hispanic writer. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, here's good. John De La Rose. Yeah, you like that? JDA. John De La Rose. De La Rose. No matter what they say about you over here in Comicsgate, that I will turn into a parking lot. Yeah. When I'm done with Comicsgate, it'll be nothing left but a parking lot. No. We'll still have a handicap parking spot. So when TJ, hail the black gremlin. So when TJ pulls up, he's got a spot to pull into. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like that. Yeah. TJ, you POS piece of shit. All right. Fuck, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. Okay. I gotta feel it. With these Reiki healing hands. Yeah. JDA, John De La Rose, fellow Hispanic writer, Hispanic author. I say, help me, JDA. Help me get in touch with Dan Didio, the legendary Dan Didio, JDA. I think I could pitch him and sell him multiple IPs. Prove my value. The world awaits, the world hungers for the new energy during this new era, this new age, the Ice Age. New creative batteries, IP generating machines, what the world needs. Help us turn the tables, turn the tide, JDA. The ball's in your court, John De La Rose. Yeah. JDA, put me in touch with the legendary Dan Didio. Thank you. Hail and welcome to the Ice Age. Leave a like and leave a comment.
that Ancient Enemy 6 is wrapped up, and so you're sitting in your.
I hope that I got enough talk about Ancient, because like I know what it is. I write. So I hope we're talking about this book enough, because I know.
No. Like I said, I was just happy to do it because
cool.
There's so few. If you know the comics business right now, one of the things that's lacking is that information aggregate that pulls it together and hypes it and makes it interesting and lets people know what's going on and happening. There's a lot of great YouTube sites and websites, and here on StreamYard, you got all these things going on all over the place, but there's nothing driving the industry like the 90s did with Wizard Magazine, or something that was basically almost the tastemaker of the industry. Most people are reacting to what's going on, but nobody.
Dun 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 dun. The unstoppable, unbreakable, undiscovered, creative juggernaut with another telepathic, message
out there into the ethers, being sent out by the most froze, the Glacier, the bad boy of indie comics, EJ, Mr. July, Rippa. This message is for you. Did you hear the point that Dan Didio just brought up about the comic industry having Wizard magazine? You're already there with Rippazine. But this is your chance to make money. Sign people under your umbrella. You got a lot going on right now, so maybe you're like, nah, I don't want that on my plate. But listen to the Glacier, July. You need this. Rippazine, you need to open the gates. You need to open the floodgates to the Rippazine. Not like big, or not everybody. You can still be selective. But you've got to open up the floodgates to the Rippazine. That could be what the Rippaverse gives back and stays with the times. You know, kind of, you're from music land, Rippa. Look at what Jay-Z did. He put himself next to every new upcoming breaking superstar, doing features and songs with them to keep his relevancy alive, keep his steel sharp, open up the Rippazine to smaller creators in the indies. Opportunity. Money. Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. You printing the Rippazine, right? Think about it. These are the things to think about. Yeah. Any day now. StreamYards, YouTube.
But he's really out there projecting excitement about things that are coming to be. And I think that's one of the things that's been lost in comics is that sense of excitement. You know, everybody has been really diffused the audience in its own way. And in some ways, we're not that big a crowd to really be spread out that wide. We got to find ways to pull ourselves together about things that really unite the business more so than
always say that. Man, that's refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
And your enthusiasm is noted by Brian Rickard for 199. Thank you. He says Metal Men was great. Your enthusiasm is incredible, and that it is. It's infectious, Dan. I'm hyped to go to the comic shop tomorrow.
Comics are silly. They should be fun. We should argue about what we like about our characters and don't like. That's anybody. I'll engage in any argument about any character at any time. I love that shit because that's what comics. That's what I know, right? Careful what you wish for. But you know, it's. I've been doing that for years. I've been doing it before I started DC. I'm doing it now. You know, it's fun. I like getting lost in those worlds and getting excited by what's happening in the books. And you know, and I'll be honest, I don't read as much as I used to. And you know, I did a lot, and now I can tell you the truth. I'm one of those older guys that's buying backwards, as I call it. You know, filling in collections more so than really seeing what's going on going forward. Every once in a while, something captures my attention. I hear about it, I go out and buy it, but for the most part, I'm not prowling those shelves as much as I used to, looking for something. In a lot of senses, mainly because a lot of stuff has been homogenized, so I can't even tell what the titles don't even tell me what a book's about. The cover doesn't tell me what a book's about. I'm not even sure if so I'm not even sure what it is.
It's so weird these days. Yeah.
Yeah. And if somebody says to me, if you read these 3 trades, you'll get a sense of the story, I'm not ready to invest that heavily. You know, I'm not the guy that waits 3 seasons for a show to get good. If it's not good on the first or second episode, I'm not there by the 3rd. You know, so
I have one last super chat, but I've got a question based on that then. So what are your 5 favorite or anywhere into that runs or comics of all time then? What
God, that's so hard.
Where do you go with this? Other than Stephanie Brown Batgirl, which is the best.
Yeah, you know, my time at DC, my period of time, my sweet spot at DC is from Countdown to Infinite Crisis to the end of the 52 weekly series. That's my sweet spot. That's my personal. That's the story I wanted to tell, and that was the one I could tell you I was most hands-on about.
Cool.
During my tenure. So that's that. But for what I read, I'm a 70s guy. I hate to say, so I was a big Engelhardt, Gerber, Thomas, or Conway fan. And I loved all those books. Len Wein and Mark Wolfman. I followed. Those are the writers I followed. I love the art on that. I mean, there's some incredible stuff. I'm just rereading this week John Byrne's Fantastic Four, because I forgot how good that was.
Amazing stuff.
And I forgot how long he was on that series too. So I just bought those 2 omnibuses. So I've been going through those. Have a blast doing that. You know what I mean? That's been a lot of fun. And every once in a while I pick up something new if I hear some rumblings about it, just to get a sense of that. But I like to, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a superhero guy. I mean, there's no denying that. I was asked, for Batman Day, somebody had me on and they asked me what was my favorite Batman run, and and I had to go. It's Engelhardt Rogers, man. That was even though it was 6-7 issues, that was a big deal for me. That was really that interpretation of Batman that really just locked in my mind who that character should be. And that's something that I carried into the DCU when I went there. But I have a lot of fun.
Speaking of Batman, there's something I want to show you guys actually. So let me go here. Let me load it up. Shout out to Bombi and Bombi Life Laws. He made an interesting point about Batman. Basically, the short of it is, Joker is Bruce Wayne from a parallel dimension. Because the idea is that Joker is what Bruce Wayne would become if he stayed bitter after the death of his parents. And also explains why Batman... See, this would be the perfect kind of retcon that takes care of why Batman never kills the Joker, because it's him from a parallel dimension. Okay, it's right here. Loading it up right. Meow. Yeah.
Yo, you're here.
All right. Yo, can I full screen it or what? I guess I can't full screen it.
This one that's gonna bug you comic book fans out. Joker is Bruce Wayne from a parallel universe. Woo! Hear me out, fam. Why do you think he has all these gadgets? Has people like an army, and this guy, like, you know what I mean? They don't know his background. He's Bruce Wayne from a parallel universe, my people. Batman is fighting himself. That's why Batman never kills him. They never talk about the Joker's origin. Oh yeah, he was a failed stand-up comedian. He is who Batman became if Batman would have been bitter after losing his parents. He tried to make, a joke out of it, become a comedian. People laughed at him, and he got more bitter. But Joker is Bruce Wayne. Batman is fighting himself. It's one side of him, the good side, the side that he didn't let, overcome him, like the Dark Knight, versus his bitter side. Think about it, man. Joker always has like an army, people willing to die for him. All these gadgets. You know, like, oh, but he's a thief. Nah, fam. He's Bruce Wayne. Yo.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that theory? Think Joker is really Bruce Wayne from a parallel dimension? These are the questions. These are the questions. All right, we're gonna go back to JDA and the legendary Dan Didio, and how do I get out of here?
Chosen ones. I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell. You remember the movie Rocky V where he's fighting Tommy Gunn in the street? Tommy Gunn, played by Tommy Morrison, the boxer who passed away. He played Tommy Gunn and he fights Rocky at the end. And at one point, he had Rocky on the floor. And he tried to walk away thinking he won. And Rocky got up and said, I ain't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah.
I know you're going through it. I know you're sad. I know you're depressed. You feeling it right now. You feel me?
All right. Back to JDA and the legendary Dan Didio. Yeah. Here on the Glacier Mountain Comics YouTube channel, where you can still donate via paypal.me/glacier8888. It's not too late to donate. Yeah. We're looking to begin production on issue 2 of our debut IP to the world, Sledheads. The supernatural Super Sentai rom-com. Our first debut to the world, issues 1 and 2 of Sled Heads. Yeah. Help us today. Get started on issue 2 production by donating via paypal.me/glacier8888. PayPal is in the banner below. The world awaits our debut. Thank you. Also, leave a like and leave a comment. You can do that for the free. It's for free and it helps us get into the algorithm. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And hit that notification bell so you could be notified each and every time we go LIVE live. Yeah. It's the bad boy of Indie Comics, your host, the most froze. We're just gonna play this interview and we'll end it when we end it. So until next time, folks, it's been a fantastic time. I'm probably gonna have to edit the stream because it did get suspended while I was playing My Chemical Romance. You know, the music videos with the awesome ray guns in them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit those out probably. But it's been fun. Thank you for stopping by. Whether you watched it live or on the playback, I appreciate it like you wouldn't believe. Yes, indeed, partner. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And stay alert and stay tuned. The mission remains the same. Comic books will rise again. The funny books will have a second wind, a renaissance. The new energy is here. It's a new era, a new age. The Ice Age. And the bad boy of indie comics. He's coming. And there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
And like I said, it's you know, I read a lot. You know, when I moved from California to Tampa just recently, and I had to get rid of a lot of stuff. and I got rid of 26 long boxes of comics.
Oh, geez, that's a lot.
But I still have 57 copies. You know what I'm saying? So 57
Nice.
long boxes. So I mean, I still got a lot of comics here, but that's in my cut to the bone collection. Just to let you know.
Wow. And our final question from Dymo Z is going to take it way back for you. Thank you for the $2 super chat.
Yeah.
Dan got stories from when you did Beast Machine.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I joined Mainframe Entertainment when they were on Beast Wars, and I was part of the development for Beast Machines. So I had to bring in the writers and sit down with the people from Hasbro and Glacier, and we had to hammer out that storyline. It was interesting because I originally brought in Steve Gerber to do it, but the people at Glacier hated Steve and they wouldn't let me work with them. So I brought in this other team, guys, Eisenberg and Skier. They had worked on the Godzilla series that ran for a little while. I forgot what channel it was on. It might have been on WB. But I brought them in and they did a fabulous job. They did a job. My days in animation are some of the ones I remember most fondly because I was at the early days of computer animation for TV. There was no other shows on the air except what we were creating. So the idea of carving new territory and having in some ways, the arrogance to believe this is going to be better than cell animation and try to convince people of that is where, a lot of our drive came from. And it's fun for me now. Here you're looking at this 30 years later. And now cell animation is the aberration and computer animation's everywhere. So everything that we thought was going to be true came true in the end.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. And of course, guys, make sure to show your appreciation for Dan by going to your comic shop tomorrow and picking up Ancient Enemies from
Thank you
Frank
so much.
Miller Presents.
Thanks
This
a
is
lot, John.
exciting. And of course, I'll have a full review of the series probably up on the channel this weekend for you guys too. So thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. And I guess that's it. See ya.
Great. Thanks so much, Sam. Thank you.